Good evening and welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. Russia has launched 574 drones and 40 missiles on Ukraine in one of the heaviest bombardments in weeks. One person was killed in a drone and missile strike on the western city of Lviv, while 15 others were reported wounded in an attack on the southwestern Transcarpathia region. The attacks came as US President Donald Trump spearheads diplomatic moves to halt the war. Ukrainian Foreign Minister said the airstrikes highlighted why efforts to bring it to an end were so critical. President Volodymyr Zelensky has said Ukraine was ready to meet Russia's Vladimir Putin in neutral Europe, mooting Switzerland or Austria, adding he was not against Istanbul either. German prosecutors say a Ukrainian man has been arrested in Italy on suspicion of blowing up the Nord Stream gas pipeline under the Baltic Sea, several months after the start of Russia's full-scale invasion. The man, identified only as Serhii K., was arrested in the province of Rimini and was part of a group who planted explosives under the Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 pipelines from Russia to Germany, according to federal prosecutors. The blasts severed a key source of natural gas for Europe when leaders were facing an energy crisis triggered by Russia's war. Officials say Palestinians are fleeing parts of Gaza City after the Israeli military began the first stages of a planned ground offensive. Israel's troops have established a foothold on the outskirts of the city, which is home to more than 1 million Palestinians after days of intense bombing and artillery fire. It has prompted UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres to renew calls for an immediate ceasefire to avoid the death and destruction an assault would inevitably cause. Israel wants to signal that it is pressing ahead with its plan to capture all of Gaza City, despite international criticism.
I must reiterate that it is vital to reach immediately a ceasefire in Gaza and the unconditional release of all hostages, and to avoid the massive deaths and destruction that a military operation against Gaza City would inevitably cause.
You want transparency?
Texas legislators have approved new congressional maps designed to give Republicans an edge in next year's elections for the U.S. House of Representatives.
The plan is straightforward. Improve Republican political performance.
Republicans in the Texas House of Representatives passed the new voting lines in an 88-52 vote, creating 5 new Republican-leaning seats. It followed a 2-week standoff in which Democrats fled the state to stall the vote and rally supporters against the redistricting plans. The maps will now go to the state Senate, where they're expected to be swiftly approved and then signed off by the Texas governor. Popular Ghanaian musician Shatta Wale has been detained in a tax investigation linked to his purchase of a luxury car, according to his management. Here, fans of his protesting by playing his music in the streets following his arrest. Wale's yellow Lamborghini was seized earlier this month at the request of the US, which alleged that the vehicle was tied to the proceeds of a criminal enterprise. The US Vice President J.D. Vance and other senior members of the Trump administration have been heckled as they met National Guard troops in Washington, D.C. Vance, along with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller, visited the troops at Union Station, D.C.'s largest rail hub. Protesters yelled at the trio to leave the city, some shouting "Free D.C." and "Free Palestine." President Donald Trump deployed the National Guard to the capital on the 11th of August as he pledged to crack down on crime and homelessness in the city. And the US judge and social media star Frank Caprio has died at the age of 88, according to his family.
I think 9:59 is close enough to 10. Matter is dismissed.
Thank you.
The judge became a social media sensation for his compassion and humour on his hit show Caught in Providence.
Yeah, I knew. He had a great argument. He came in well prepared today. Guilty or not guilty? What do you say?
Guilty.
Guilty.
His videos have received billions of views and earned him the title of the nicest judge in the world. Frank Caprio's death follows a diagnosis of pancreatic cancer and was announced on Instagram to his 3.4 million followers. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel Studios in Lagos.